Hi guys, Jeff here from TAP. Just with a bit of a story on a car that we were working on yesterday in regards to steering angle sensors. This particular car came to us with a lot of warning lights on the dash, including our ABS, traction control, steering modules, etc., with warning lights. Interestingly, all orange lights, not red. Once we scanned the vehicle, we had a number of codes. So in the ABS unit, we had a steering angle sensor faulty and steering angle sensor no or incorrect basic settings and adaptation. So 2 steering angle sensor in our brakes, and we also had one down here in steering assistance, steering angle sensor faulty. So again, looking at the live data, we can see that we had no steering angle sensor coding at all. Now, interestingly enough, this particular vehicle, this is the clock spring off that particular vehicle. That's your steering angle sensor. They go together and live in this unit like so. And then we've got our steering column module. So we couldn't see that information in the steering column module. And this is where we have to be careful when we're quoting on cars. We quoted up to replace the steering angle sensor and the clock spring. Mainly because clock springs do fail. We thought while we're here we'd do that. They weren't that expensive. Interesting enough, when we put it all back together, with the original steering column module, we still had some fault codes relating to steering angle sensor, but in the ABS unit only. We could then see the data in here in this module for the steering angle sensor. We could see the degrees of turn, etc., but we couldn't see it in the ABS unit. So this module wasn't transferring that information onto the CAN bus and sharing it with the ABS unit. So we deemed this to be faulty. We were quite confident of that. Now, interestingly enough, when we contacted VW, not available in Australia, ex-Germany, and $550 for one of these. We were able to ascertain with the part numbers, getting a second-hand one with identical numbers. So we got one of those in, we fitted that up again. Once it was all plugged in, happy days. We now had that data being transferred by this module onto the CAN bus, so it got to the ABS control module. We could see the steering angle data in the ABS control module then. So in this particular case, so an interesting one is, I suppose, how do you quote up jobs like this? Because we have a faulty steering angle sensor. We've sold them up on doing a clock spring at the same time, but obviously we didn't quote for a steering module at the same time either. So interesting enough, you have to make sure you cover yourself, that you're not saying, we've got this particular part is faulty, we know that, we need to replace that. Once it's back together, we can then investigate further to make sure there's no other problems. In this case, we did have another faulty module. So always keep your customers alert to the fact that they may need some additional work, even though we're replacing a particular sensor. And in this particular case, we needed one of these. Luckily enough, we were able to get one second hand. So just be careful when you're quoting up for electronic jobs. Don't ever say that's going to fix it all together. Just say that's the next step you have to take. You need to replace this, then we can re-evaluate the system and see if it needs any further work. Hopefully that sort of helps you out. We'll make sure that this goes in as a repair solution in the TAP site. If you are a member, make sure you're utilising those repair solutions if you're having particular issues with the car. If you're not a member, you want to join up, then go to tap.net.au, click up the Join Up Now button and join with the many other thousands of technicians all across Australia, New Zealand and around the world that are sharing information, knowledge and experience. See you next time.